Welcome back to the Kindred Kinfolk podcast. It's your favorite cousin, Tierra D. And I'm chilling here today with two awesome individuals from the U Stuck With Me podcast. They're coming here to share their story and give some good vibe. Welcome, cousins Marquis and Taylor Williams. How y'all doing?
We're good. How are you?
Hey.
Doing all right. Hanging in there, enjoying the vibes on this good Sunday morning. How was church today?
Church was great.
It was a vibe.
Definitely needed.
What was the good word today?
The good word today was to make sure that you continue to build.
I know that's right. How long have you guys been going to that particular church?
She's going to make fun of me, but I've been going there for 25 years.
Really? That's what I'm talking about. Gone are the days where you find some souls that have been going to the same church for decades at a time. I could say that about my grandma and my big mama, but I can't say that about nobody in our generation. Not really.
See, he's been there as long as a big mama, a grand. He like a founding member at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Our church,
you have contributed to the building fund 10 times over.
Okay.
Yeah. Our church is like 40 years old. I'm sorry, not 40.
It's been longer than that.
Longer than that. It's almost 50. I'm not even nowhere near 50.
Wow.
Yeah. You like one of those founding members that can get like a reserve seat sign.
Wow.
On their spot. Yeah.
Really?
They need to name a brick after you or something. Something.
Yeah.
Not a brick.
I love it.
For me, actually, how long has it been? 2018?
Almost 6 years.
It'll be 6 years. Easter Sunday.
Nice. For the same church, right?
Yeah.
Nice. I love that. I'm loving the longevity though. Marquise, that's a stretch of time.
Yeah.
To be dedicated to one single house of the Lord, serving in that kind of vessel. I love that. I do love it. That is awesome. I'm pretty sure over that time with that church, you have seen some things.
Yeah, we've moved into a new sanctuary in 20. What was that? 20.
Was it 2002?
It was after that. I want to say 2005. 2005.
Cool. Now, is this the church that you guys have decided to have your first live show?
No, that was actually at our fraternity brothers' church. His is a little bit smaller venue, so.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I definitely been keeping up with You Stuck With Me podcast, and I want to know about the first live show. How was it? Were y'all nervous? Was it a good turnout? What happened? I'll see what happened, but
I was a little bit nervous, but once we started, getting into everything, I found my comfort zone, and
it became Marquise's live show.
Wow.
As I called him.
Did you guys have like crowd participation? Was the congregation involved, or were they just like watching you guys?
Well, in the beginning, it was a little rough because, at a certain point, you have what I call our seasoned saints. They those ones that let the young folks, as they say, do what they want to do. But I'm like, no, it's a family show, and everybody has to participate. So once we start getting more into karaoke and then getting to the Q&A, that's when they start, participating. And it was great.
That's good. That's cool. Now, one thing I do love about y'all show is the opening. I should have had you open for us, Taylor. The lovely vocals and harmonizing and me's of Taylor coming through with the vocals all the time. Yeah. And shout out to you, man, for knowing all the lyrics. Because Lord, I'd be like, is that how that song go? Oh, I guess so. Because I would have fumbled all the way through that.
The way the podcast is set up is all because of her, because she's such a music head. So if you pay attention to all our podcast episodes, you will notice that all the titles are song titles.
Yeah, so that's why
I didn't think I caught that. Now I got to go back and look.
So we We have everyone from Karen White to Luther Vandross to Kendrick Lamar to Brownstone.
Yolanda Adams.
We did Summer Walker on one episode recently.
And for
That is so cute.
the live show, we opened with Tevin Campbell.
Where is Tevin Campbell these days? I wonder what he's doing.
You know, he's just was it the Soul Train Awards or was it it was the Soul Train Awards? Because I think he was being honored with something.
I think. But he's still touring. He's still out there.
Mm-hmm.
Is he really? Let me look up Tevin Campbell and see where he's at. Wait a minute. Do he got the same vocals? Like, because you know how that goes over time. Sometimes the vocals don't.
He pretty much sounds the same. He's just gotten older.
Okay. I could live with that. We all know how that goes. Sometimes, you know, over time in life, and those vocals don't quite make the transition with you. But I'm gonna check out Tevin Campbell because I've always been a fan, so definitely got to check that out for sure. So it's good to see, or good to hear, I should say, that you guys have had y'all's first live episode. I'm so proud of you guys. I know that's been such a huge accomplishment.
Thank you.
Whose idea was it to have the live episode? Or is that like a joint thing, or who pulled the trigger? Who said we doing this? Because there's always one.
She came up with the idea and we just ran with it.
So, funny story. So first of all, the whole live show, I would say it was our baby, but it was started from one of my manifestations. So it all started, we were leaving the church. We had been visiting there for a while, went to service to hear our frat brother preach. And it was just like one of those things, like God put the idea in my head, like have it here. We always had a discussion about doing a live show, but we didn't get like deep into it. Like we were always wondering where we have it at. So I was like, why don't we have it here? So we talked to him. He was like, oh yeah, that's cool and everything like that. And from there, it was just my creative juices were flowing there. Like I came up with where to have it at. I came up with the song. I started outline of a treatment, and then Marquis filled in the holes for me. So that's why I say we're not only co-hosts, we're co-creative directors, because that was the most we outside of like doing the audio portion of the podcast like we do every week, but you know, just like really seeing the creative juices flowing, and just to see Marquis light up, because I always tell him I always seen something great in him. And even though I joke, give him a hard time, telling him that was his live show, but he was nervous, and I'm just looking at him like, why are you nervous? You do this all the time. It's just now you just see the people.
Yeah, you're just in front of people, but it's still us. It's still us at the dining room table. I saw some of y'all earlier episodes where y'all was sitting at the dining room table.
Those were our early episodes. That was like up to season 5?
Probably season 5, season 6, but that's our starter from the bottom. Now we here.
Right.
And we're sitting in that same
dining room now. So
I love that.
Humble beginnings.
That means it's still getting its use. You're still getting its use. Never too far behind to always remember where you started. Mm-hmm. One of these days, I'm going to remember this room and be like, this is where I started. Yeah. I love it.
That was our 100th episode.
Yeah, that was our 100th episode.
100th. Congratulations. That's a lot of content. Goodness gracious. That's a lot of content. That's awesome.
You know, we were explaining to us, you know, some of the crowd members that the way we came up with our episodes was just like living everyday life, whether it was something that happened to one of us or happened to both of us, or something that we saw on social media. You know, we're just able to pull our content from different avenues, and it sometimes becomes more than pillow talk. Mm-hmm. It's just things that you're like, okay, you know what? We're going through this, but let's see if anybody else is going through this. And more times than not, we find out that it is other people who are going through the same thing that we're going through.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that is so true. Like, you'd be surprised at how sharing your story, even though like it's not necessarily time for testimonials at the church, you know, even if you just like share, it still turns into a testimony for somebody else, and that they can, draw inspiration from. And even in that moment, I think some people really do feel like that in order to like inspire someone, you have to have this like real heartfelt, deep speech or something. The Shonda Rhimes speeches and stuff in order to, touch someone. And sometimes it literally is just like living your everyday life and sharing your everyday stories that reaches the most people, I feel like, because it's so candid and normal and effortless. But those are typically the ones that at least reach me the most. Although I am such a fan of Shonda Rhimes. Shonda, please, shout out to Shonda. I love you. Please keep writing always.
Yes.
So Taylor, I want to dig into your business a little bit, and then Marquise, I'm gonna be coming for you next. Okay. So Taylor, I heard you had your first DJ set, was it?
Yes, I had it.
Tell me about that.
I had it this past New Year's Eve. DJing is something I always wanted to do. Well, let me backtrack. I always knew I wanted to do something in music. And then it wasn't up to like, let's say about 2 or 3 years ago, I was watching like YouTube videos about DJing, and I'm a, like Marquise has said, I'm a big music head. And I'm just like that one friend that just knows random facts about music. Like, why do you know this stuff? Right. And I don't know. It's just something that fascinated me about it. Like, I always seen like the turntables and stuff like that. And when I was younger, I had this dream of creating my own record label. So it was just like watching that and just having those feelings back as a kid. I was like, what's stopping me from doing it? So I've been taking classes. I had been taking classes here and there, and just networking with other DJs around, and then just putting my own sauce to it. Mm-hmm. And thanks to Marquise pushing me, trying to get me more out of my comfort zone. Like, won't you? Like, what you waiting for? Like, you good?
Right.
It's time to show them. So I took the leap of faith and did my first DJ set for New Year's Eve for a group of friends and some family, those around. And it turned out dope.
Nice. That's awesome.
Very proud of her for it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Were you nervous?
I was nervous. I was nervous the night before and probably the 2 days before that, because I was like, hey, I don't know how I'm about to do this. Like, I feel like I'm not totally prepared and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
But
I can see that.
I noticed that I work the most, my most creative work comes out when I'm nervous. Because it's like I have that adrenaline rush. Like I wanted to be so good.
What is that? We need to put a name on that, because what is that? I do the same thing. It's something about when the adrenaline is pumping through and you just jump and you just do it, and it's like the best thing you've ever done. Like, I don't know what to call that, but I do the exact same thing.
You know what that makes me think of? What was song was that with Erykah Badu? She's like, just keep in mind I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my stuff.
Oh yeah. When she did Tyrone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, when she did Tyrone. That was such a dope. God, that was such a dope song. It was. But it was like she just did that like right then, and with the crowd participation, the lyrics, to everything. That woman's a genius. I love her. I love her so much. So that's awesome. So do you, at least in the future, have plans on continuing to DJ, Taylor? Because I mean, I'm always looking for some, to hire somebody to do some things. I need, my network has to be out there. I need to know who to contact in all these cities now. So can I call you up? What's going on?
Of course. I haven't stopped doing it. It just took a little bit of a backseat because of the live show. But now, since the live show's over with, we on a break now. I said I'm gonna go back to the music. So of course, if you need somebody in Chicago,
listen.
Name
is that? I just realized I have not asked y'all that. Is that where y'all are located in Chicago?
Yes.
Born and raised.
Nice. Love it. Like the Obamas. Oh. That's so sweet. I love it. I've always wanted to visit Chicago. Always wanted to go.
It's definitely a beautiful city. We love being from here. The food festivals and everything during the summer. Just there's no other place like it.
Just summertime Chicago is a vibe. I would say.
There are so many like celebrities alone that have come out of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So many.
And you don't even know until after you do research. So it's like a lot of them, they live in like LA and stuff now, but they actually either born and raised in Chicago, or they graduate from a Chicago high school.
Yeah. Of course, we know the Obamas, and then there's the comedian Godfrey. I know he's from Chicago. Bernie Mac, if I remember right.
Yeah. Common.
Lisa Ray, I think.
Yeah.
Also.
Look, coincidentally enough, I actually went to preschool with Lisa Ray's daughter, Kai.
What? Shut up! I know you lying. What?
Mm-hmm.
That would have blew my mind.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either until when I was a little bit older, and my mom told me, and that's when we start seeing Lisa Ray in all the different movies and everything. And then last year? Last year we just actually met DeBrat and Judy.
And that's another person, DeBrat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they are sisters, which I was like today years old. I think I found that out just like maybe like 8-9 years ago that they were sisters, Lisa Ray and DeBrat. But in my younger years, I did not make that connection. That's funny that you bring that up about going to preschool with Lisa Ray's sister. And didn't know till you were an adult. When I was in middle school, I don't know if you guys went skating in middle school, early high school, or high school. In middle school, we stayed at the skating rink also. We were there like almost every weekend. And there was this guy that worked at the skating rink. And it wasn't until, this was back when Polaroid cameras was a thing. So we have these old Polaroids of us I think it was at one of our friends or one of my classmates' like birthday party or something. And of course they later got developed and then eventually made it on, Facebook and stuff when Facebook first started out. And one of my friends from that party that I'm still friends with today, that picture circled around like as a memory. And she told me, she was like, Tierra, guess who that was in that picture? He was a guy at the skating rink that photobombed like the majority of our pictures. And I remember like that party specifically because we were like, taking the pictures, posing, and we're like, who is this guy in the background? We don't know him, but we just like let him in the pictures. Yeah, it turns out it was J. Cole.
Wow.
That photobombed our pictures. And I totally forgot that he used to work at the skating rink in Fayetteville at Utah Skating Rink. Totally forgot it. I never bothered to connect the two dots because I learned that afterwards when he became, who he is, started learning. I knew he was from Fayetteville. And I remember some of the locals, when I go back home, would say that, oh, yeah, we remember him. He used to work at the skating rink. And I just kind of passed it off. Yeah, didn't put two and two together that's who that was in the background, photobombing our pictures was J. Cole.
That's funny. He's actually one of my favorite artists.
Mine too. Yeah, I'm a little biased though because he's from Fayetteville. He has to be my favorite artist, right?
One of my favorite artists, him. I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan.
I love Kendrick Lamar has Chicago ties too.
Does he really?
Yeah, his parents grew up in the Robert Taylor homes, which was a former project in Chicago.
Oh, and look at that interesting bit of info. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he references in one song. I want to say it's from
the Damn album.
Yeah,
I think it's depending on which version you're listening to. If it's the original one, it's the very last track called Duckworth.
Yeah,
that's what he there.
I'm gonna have to listen to that and listen out for it because I did not know that. But good to know. Good to know.
Just like Good Times too. That's based out of Cabrini Green, a project in Chicago. So it's like a lot of Chicago ties and like media too.
Like everybody knows, Ludacris grew up in Atlanta, but he was originally from downstate Champaign.
Yeah.
Soulja Boy. He was born in Chicago, but relocated to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson's from Chicago. I'm trying to think of who else.
So many people. It's gonna be like a laundry list of people from Chicago, honestly.
R. Kelly's from Chicago.
Oh yeah. That was another one. Yeah, I saw the documentary.
It's a
Yeah, I
dude
heard.
that all from Chicago.
Kanye.
Kanye West came.
Yeah, Kanye is another one too.
And a lot of people didn't believe it when we would tell them, but Kel from Kenan and Kel, he's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Is he really? Now that was my show. I love me some Kenan and Kel. What? Who loves orange soda? I only drink it because I watched that show. I really didn't care for orange soda.
I do.
Exactly. I loved it. So also too, Taylor, I recently saw and I heard that someone has expressed that they wanted to possibly take the first step at trying to be a mommy this year. Is that right?
You really did your homework on me, huh?
I did my homework on both of y'all. I try to do my research in prep, you know. Yeah, somebody wants to be a mommy. Tell me about that.
So funny that you mentioned that. That was brought up in a live show too.
What is it now? At the church. Oh Lord, what was that like? I can't. Let me just say, I can't wait for this episode to drop because I need to see this.
Because somebody in the audience was like, "They married? Why not?"
Yeah. Ooh, why not?
Yeah, Drew. But still, that could be like a very. Although you have made it a public announcement, you know, that can still be a very like private thing between husband and wife. So, but I can only imagine what that could have possibly been like, yet felt like in front of a room full of people.
Well,
she took it in stride. She was very good and very funny.
I was good about it. I'm not gonna tell you my answer on the live show. You just gotta have to wait till it come out.
I'm gonna watch it.
Very comedic and very a church-like answer. I would say that. I had to pull in my sanctified saint bag.
Yeah. Because we've all had those moments in church where somebody says something or asks you something, and the first thing that pops in your head isn't quite
church-like.
You know, is a little touchy.
Yeah.
Gotta roll it back and reel it in a little bit. Yeah. I definitely get that.
But yeah, I've thought about it. I was like, you know, it'd be cool to at least start embarking on what that would look like to be a mommy. It's not that I never wanted kids. It was more of I just got married to my best friend. Let us enjoy, you know, each other first and then embark on children. Not saying that it would hinder that in a negative way. Right. But you know, just get used to being with my husband for a while, and then, you know, when the little chilling, as I say, the little juniors, you know, they can come. But yeah, I'm like, I think it'd be time to at least explore. And if it happens this year, hey, great. If it doesn't, that's great too.
You can go either way a little bit.
Go either way.
That's good. That is so beautiful. I love that. Well, I do wish you all the best on having some little feet running through the house. You know, some just a little bitty baby Williams somewhere running around in there, looking like the both of you, and having a blend of the both of y'all. That'll be the real eye opener, is to see your child and see like what characteristics they get from each of y'all. It's gonna trip y'all out. I love it.
Like a box of chocolate. Don't know what we're gonna get, but
exactly.
Exactly. She told me that when we have children and they do something that they're not supposed to do, she doesn't know if she's gonna have to reprimand them or laugh, because she knows that if our kids are anything like me
or me. And I gotta prepare for their hair too, because I got a full head of hair and it's thick. So I'm like,
ooh, and what if it's a girl? Ooh,
I've been preparing my hands for it. I mean, I might have to put my brace back on.
Listen, go ahead and stretch those fingers out. Get ready to pop those knuckles, because you're gonna be braiding and parting some hair, or calling someone to come over and do your baby's hair. Something. It's gonna be something. One of the two. But I'm pretty sure you guys have an awesome support system that will be able to help, in a time of need. Definitely sounds like you guys already do, though.
We do. If our kids are anything like me, they are going to be tall.
Really? Do the genes run in the family like that?
Yeah, I'm actually the tallest in my family, and that's on both sides.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Now, Marquis, we probably cousins because Lord knows my family stay with some height now. We are tall over here too. Taylor, how tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
Okay, you and I are closer in size. I am 5'8 3/4". I don't know why that 3/4 matters to me, but it does. So I'm 5'8 3/4".
I always mess with my wife when it comes to her height. I say she's 5'8", 6 feet, include the hair. So
You know what? The hair does add extra inches. If my hair wasn't locked and all blown out, it would add. I'd be up there 6'5" with you, Marquis. I would.
I believe
Yeah,
it.
my sister is one of my sisters is 6'2". My dad is like 6'3", maybe. They're like right at the same height. I think my mom is like 5'8". But if you're like above, I feel like if you're above like 5'6", 5'7", you're tall for a woman because, So yeah, the height definitely runs in the family. I've got cousins who are 6'5", 6'6". Even also on my husband's side too, he is, I think, 6'1". And I want to say his brother's like 6'3", his dad's 6'2", 6'3". Yeah, the tallness. We're all tall, all tall over here. And then of course my sister-in-law, bless her heart, I think she's like 5'4". She's a little bitty thing. But yeah, all the height, all the things. So Marquise, I also learned that you had a bout with cancer several years ago.
Yes, I did.
Yes. A cancer survivor coming through. I love it. So tell me about that.
2-time cancer survivor. So I was actually diagnosed 1 month into us dating. I had to stay away. I had to stay out of the public because at the time I was dealing with a compromised immune system. So even something as simple as the common cold would have caused a lot of issues. So I did. Oh, thank you. So after a while, when I started getting better with my treatment, I was able to actually come out in public, and that was February 2018. And the reason I remember because the first place I went to in public was to go see Black Panther, and it was just about to come out.
Oh, that's so.
So that we did that, and then as I started to progress and started to spend more time outside, that summer was probably one of the best summers I had because we went to a Greek picnic. We went to Atlanta, and then I remember the weekend prior we went to go see Kendrick Lamar. So that was fun. But unfortunately, the good things didn't last long because that following August, that's when we were at a video game tournament and we survived the mass shooting. So that was in Jacksonville, Florida. And because of the stress that took on my body, the cancer returned. So that following July of 2019, I had a stem cell transplant, which was successful. And because of everything that it takes for a stem cell, after a stem cell transplant, I had to return to seclusion because once again, my body was immune compromised. And once I was able to start coming back out, COVID-19. So had to sit through that again. And my mom was like, no, you're not going anywhere, which was hard for us because at the time I was staying with my mom, she was helping me with the recuperation and everything and doctor's appointments, everything. So at the time she was working at a rehab center. Mm-hmm. It's COVID-19. She's got to be careful, which means just her simply going to work could have put me in danger. Yeah. So we were trying to figure out ways to see each other. And then she came up with an idea just in conversation. And she said, we don't take enough pictures. And I said, okay, we'll do a photo shoot. But before we did the photo shoot, my mom came up with, she saw this company on TV. It's called Picnics in the Shy. So what they do is they set up a whole picnic for you outside with fruit and things that you request to have for your picnic. And by that time, I was thinking about proposing to her. So I was being a little mysterious with this. So they had a board that you could leave a sign for. And I decided to put the start of forever on it. And the entire time, she was trying to figure out what that meant.
I thought he was going to propose then.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, it's too much of a given that I'm going to propose to him. You know what? Let me see what she's thinking. This is where the story gets to be the fun part. So we're having these conversations like, hey, babe, how do you feel about me proposing next year? She's like, you propose next year, that's fine. What she didn't know is, and this is where the picture part comes up. She said, we don't take enough pictures. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? Bam, a photo shoot.
You were trying to figure out the best way to propose to me, but unbeknownst to me, I gave him the idea by saying,
not even realizing it.
not even realizing
it. So that day, it was October 10th, 2020. Fall, beautiful weather. So we're doing the pictures on a rooftop, and it's overlooking Lake Michigan. So we did about 5 or 6 different changeovers for the photo shoot. So she goes to change her clothes first on the last changeover. So I go to the photographer, who's also our sorority sister, and she says, "Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm gonna pull her forward and take pictures of her by herself, and then you get behind her in position." So I did that, and after she's finished taking her picture, she turns around and sees me on one knee, and she starts crying and just screaming like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" And so I proposed to her over on October 10th, 2020, overlooking Lake Michigan, and she said yes.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
She had
goodness. Wait, where are the pictures? Are they on Instagram? Because now I want to see you.
Yeah, they should be on Instagram.
Instagram, they're on Facebook. Gonna have to go a ways though, because this was 2020. So
it's okay. It's worth it. I love that. I love it. I would definitely want to see it. Oh goodness, that is beautiful. And Taylor, you had no idea?
I had no idea. So I like surprises, but I hate when Marquis surprised me, because I'd be thinking I would have figured it out, and then he comes throw a curveball and throws me off, and then all of a sudden, oh, will you marry me? I'm like, what? Was it okay to do it next year?
Here's the kicker part. If you look at one of the last pictures of us together, you can actually see the print of the ring box in my pocket.
Oh, that's cute. That is so cute. I love that. When my husband proposed to me, that it was on my birthday, November 2018, and I wasn't. He told me he was taking me to the mall, so I thought, because it's my birthday, okay, we buying Tierra some stuff. Yay, let's go. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. Not at all. Me too. And of course, my instinct was to burst out crying, because you're just overwhelmed with the emotion, you don't know what to do, and the tears just burst out your face. They just do. It just happens.
And I had that ugly cry.
Me too.
She did,
and just oh.
And I know that photographer was all in your face.
And the thing about it was, she was so much in tears that she shook her head yes after I said what I wanted to say. And both of us, me and the photographer, were like, "Can we hear yes?" And she's like, "Yes."
I remember that part. I was crying so hard, because it was I wasn't expecting it.
And I'm still getting her with surprises till this day. So,
because he got me at a surprise at the live show too.
Did he now? Oh, I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it.
I'm crying ugly tears then. I'm like, why are you doing these happy ugly tears at these beautiful moments?
At this point, I think he's just getting a kick out of it.
It's not getting a kick out of it. It's just knowing the timing when the timing is right. So
yes. And that is key, though. Honestly, Marquis, I'm going to need you to teach a class or something. Some of these young men need to know now. They need to know.
Yeah.
Listen.
Just being with her, but, we're going into 3 years married, 8 years together. Just continuously studying my wife, what she likes, what she doesn't like, how she feels about certain things, just listening And that's, for the most part, that's half the battle.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the comprehension of, the love between the two of y'all and y'all understanding the love between the two of y'all on both ends, understanding it and knowing it as a wife, as well as a husband, knowing how, especially learning your partner in a sense of, when you're able to look at that person's face and know if they're ill, they're sick, they're upset, they're happy, they're sad, they're whatever. Like that type of connection, it makes all the difference. It really does. Being that in tune with your partner.
Yeah, when I brought this up on our, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, you're good.
I brought this up on our live show last night. And one of the things I love about my wife is when I'm feeling a certain type of way, whether it's upset or whether it's mad or happy, she knows how to speak to me. And it's not like, he's the man you can't disrespect. No, it's like she knows how to speak to me as her husband, not as like a superior or nothing like that. She knows what to say and how to say it. And more times than not, what a lot of people don't understand in marriage, it's not always what you say, but your tone may set the precedent for more what you say more than the actual words.
Yes, it does. It makes all the difference. It really is how you say whatever it is. You ought to be able to communicate anything to your partner, anything. And if it's done in the right setting and in the right tone, then it should be delivered with always with the level of grace and love that it's intended for. Exactly. But you're absolutely right. Like, so do y'all believe that? I recently saw something, and it had me thinking. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this particular content creator who said it. I guess I kind of do, but the statement was communication is not the key to a successful marriage. Comprehension is. What do y'all think about that?
I feel like they go hand to hand.
Yeah, I can see where that content creator was coming from.
Yeah, I mean, we see what they were getting at, but it goes hand to hand. So it's like with anything, there's like different varieties of it. So like communication, there's regular communication. I'm just using names. Regular communication, then effective communication. Like, for example, I could tell Marquis, hey, can you go to the store and grab some bread, a stick of butter, and some milk, right? That's one way to do it. Or if I tell, as opposed to me telling him, can you go to the store and grab one stick of butter, 2 loaves of bread, and 1 carton of milk? It's a difference there. And just like with comprehension, you couldn't say yes to say that you're listening, but did it actually stick? So if I ask you, what was the grocery list I gave you, Marquis? And if he's able to give it back to me verbatim, as I said, then that means he actually understood and actually listened to what I was saying.
Right. Right.
Active listening is very key, and I think it's very underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It is. My husband, he had to ask me one day. He was like, I'm not trying to be rude, but sometimes I feel like you're not listening to me. Is it you're not listening, or do you really like forget that much? And I'd be like, baby, look, I do forget. Okay, I am approaching my 40s. The memory fog is setting in. All right, I promise you. I heard what you said. Just let me get a notepad on my phone to set a reminder real quick in order to be able to keep up. But now it's definitely a good key component to have active listening in a relationship. And I feel like some people I'm not gonna say they can't. I think it's a skill versus will type of thing. It's not that they can. I just don't think they want to.
And we recently learned that the way men and women think plays a big role in it. And I'm going to real quick.
Process.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
The way we process.
How men and women process things is different.
Because women can process multiple things. Like women have multiple supercomputers in their mind. They're processing different things at one time.
Yeah, we have a tab up for everything.
Whereas men, we have one computer, we're just processing that one thing. So it explains why, to an extent, why when it comes to dating, women will tend to be on second base, getting ready to go for third, and we're still trying to figure out how to get to first.
Yes. Yes.
Once I first heard that, that's when I finally understood it.
It's true. It's true. Women can step into a room and just have a look around, and like she's already scanning the room. If it's a single woman specifically, she's going to scan the room and she can tell you who is likely to come and approach her and ask for her number or something. Like she knows that within seconds of walking into that room. Mm-hmm. Whereas men, it might take them 6 months to even ask for the phone number.
And that's what I was trying to tell Marquis before, because I'm the one that told him he was going to be my boyfriend, my husband, and the father of my children. And he looked at me crazy like, okay, we'll see how this goes. Look where we at.
So far, she's 2 for 3.
2 for 3.
I love that. That's dope, though. I love that. I do wish that more men understood your understanding and logic, Marquis, from a male perspective. Some do. My husband seems to also be on board and understand that my mind works. I call it a mental Rolodex. My mind will
that's exactly what it was called. A woman has a mental Rolodex.
Yeah, I have a mental Rolodex. My mind will flutter through a bunch of things. And then I have this, I guess, way of like trying to process I'll share just some, not all, but some of the things that like come in my head at the time with my husband. And he's like, yep, sure. What did we say we were going to have for dinner? Did you hear me? Wait a minute. Don't do that.
And that's another thing that I learned. As women, y'all will say some things. I don't mean to say y'all in a broad sense because that may not always be the case with everyone.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though.
But when speaking to your husband, you would think he's not listening, but the entire time he's trying to process everything.
Yeah. It definitely took some learning on my part to realize that he's I can't overload him with everything that's going on in my head. Sometimes I have to go to like my homegirls or my mom, another woman who knows how to do that. And my husband, being a man, it's a skill. Well, it's a skill that he just innately doesn't have. He can keep up for the most part, but I can't depend on him to be right here in my brain with me all the time too. And I do think some women kind of, I don't know, they can't either don't understand that or miss that mark a little bit because they expect their partner to be like right there with them or be like the everything, be the father, the brother, the girlfriend, the mom, the auntie, be too many roles that I don't think men were created to be in some aspects. He can't be like your 100% any and everything. It's, that kind of becomes a little dangerously codependent when you think about it in a sense. But yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, though. I think it's pretty key. I do have a question about something you said earlier, though, Marquis. How long were you, when you said you couldn't go out and be in the public when you were, battling through your illness? How long were you in seclusion?
I was in seclusion from September to February the first time. Mm-hmm. And I was in seclusion again July 2019. I want to say
August.
Nah, it was a little longer than that. I want to say just after Christmas, New Year's Day of 2020.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch of time to be in, to be in the house and being in seclusion like that. Yeah. And Taylor, you stuck beside him.
I had to because I was we got too much. We got too many plans with each other, and you go ahead and go through this temporary health
crisis.
No, it's not a crisis. It's a temporary you can go through this temporary health delay here. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and build yourself back up, but we ain't doing this again. So that's what I tell him too. I know it sounds crazy.
But you know what? It helps.
Yeah, you're speaking that into existence. I love it.
Spirits up because it's like I was already dealing with grief during the time of Marquise's first diagnosis, and also learning how to cope with grief during the second stint. So
Yeah.
to backtrack, when he first before he received the diagnosis the first time, I had just lost my grandmother and my mother that same year, months apart. So my
I'm
grandmother
so sorry.
Thank you. My grandmother passed that January just after her, I want to say like her 86th birthday. And then in June, I'm burying my own mother. So it was like, it was a lot going on. Then here, September, oh, Marquise has leukemia. And it's like, wait, what? This is like too much.
Ooh, where is the book? Because y'all gonna have to lay all this out on some pages or something.
And see,
Lord.
This is how we came up with the podcast. Because everybody was talking about, oh, y'all should write a book. Y'all been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I
Those
was
are some serious mountains to climb.
yeah, and it's crazy because also that year, a lot of people know August that year, I was actually a contestant on Wheel of Fortune. So yeah,
Who are you?
I was a contestant on Wheel of Fortune. It was fun. It went from being on a contestant to a nationally televised show to being diagnosed with leukemia 2 days after your birthday.
Oh, not 2 days after the birthday, Lord Jesus. Oh my God.
And look, I was admitted. I was admitted 2 days before my birthday, and then I found out the actual diagnosis 2 days after.
So you spent several days in the hospital just trying to get them to or have them figure out what was going on?
I spent 21 days in the hospital. At that time, that was the longest stint I ever done.
Oh,
and
Lord.
then when I had the stem cell transplant, I was in there for 25. So
I was losing my mind after spending 3 days in the hospital. I can't imagine spending 21 days in the hospital. Well, at one time. I feel like if I added up all the times I probably have spent in the hospital, it might equal something like that. But just at one time, though, good gracious Lord.
well, the thing about it, the first time I actually had things that kept me busy. And a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually bring, if you're doing a long stay, you can actually bring stuff in there to keep you busy, like a laptop, video games. That stuff kept me busy. So,
well, that's good. At least keep your, it's good to, I guess, keep busy, not to focus on, all the nurses coming in, the machinery. Wait a minute, were you able to get any good rest? Because being in a hospital, you typically don't get good rest in a hospital because the nurses are always kind of, coming through the door. Were you able to rest at any point?
During the first stint, the first few days, the doctors had to tell the nurses, like, you guys can't come in. He has to get rest. And so once I did get rest, I temporarily lost my appetite, and I remember this like it was yesterday. So because of everything that was going on, my spleen had enlarged to take up half of my stomach. So I would only be able to take one bite of food, and I was done. So while I was in the hospital, one morning, they were giving me the medications and stuff to take care of that. So one morning I woke up, my mom was staying the night with me, and I ordered breakfast. And she knows and she's going to mess with me, but I love omelets. I would eat a good omelet any day. And so at that time I woke up and I ordered me an omelet and some orange juice. So the team usually comes in at a certain time, and my mom woke up. And by the time she woke up, I was done with the first omelet. Keyword first. So the team came in, and the doctor starts talking to me. And before the team could even say anything, my mom looked at the plate and said, "You ate all of that?" And I said, "Yeah." And then the team asked how I was doing. I said, "I would actually like another omelet." How hungry I was. And then my mom was rubbing my back. She's like, my baby is feel like himself again, because everybody knows I love to eat. So
that's beautiful. I'm glad you were able to to at least keep your wits about you in that time. I know that can be a very
Trying time.
battling something like that can be a very like dark time
It was.
mentally.
It was.
And it could take you in some serious valleys mentally. And being able to try to pull your, or I should say successfully pull yourself out, not one but two times,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in those circumstances. Then you had Taylor with you to be able to reach out to you at any time. What were some of the things that you I guess did or told yourself in order to be able to try to like keep faith during that time?
That it wasn't going to last forever. And through going to therapy, I always learned to just celebrate the little accomplishments. So if I was able to get out and walk for a certain amount of time, that's an accomplishment. If there was a reduction in medication that I no longer need to take, that was an accomplishment. If there was something that I did or I was able to, as far as food goes, if there was some things I was able to eat again, that was an accomplishment. Just looking for everything certain days, and not at certain days, but certain things, just trying to find the accomplishments in it. So just
Yeah.
forward to.
So yeah, it definitely sounds like you focus and put your attention more on the positive things than the negatives, and didn't quite live in the what if this, what if that type of mentality. I
Yes,
love that.
exactly.
Yeah, you definitely got to have a strong mindset in order to be able to live through something like that and come on the other side of it, to be able to have a podcast and tell your story. And that in itself inspires others. It really does.
And I agree with that. And not only that, but I have a very strong support system. My parents, my wife, my brother, close friends. The support system during that time was definitely key. And recognizing the fact that a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
Being in a hospital and just walking the wing and just seeing people in there and just never seeing them with their family. Now,
Yeah.
whether it was for a certain medical reason or just the reason that they didn't have a lot of family, if any family, to come visit them, I don't know. But recognizing that the village that I have and the village that surrounds me is definitely something that I never took for granted. And to this day, I still don't take for granted, because just as easily as I can have a village, I couldn't have a village. I mean, there was always that thing like, what if that were me? And I always try to tell anybody going through something and they need a village, I just ask, make sure your village knows if they have one, and just stress the importance of having one.
Yes. That is beautiful and true. Very, very true. I do think I agree with you though. I do think a support system, or having a solid support system, is necessary when you have like such a large or a huge mountain like that to be able to climb and try to get through on the other side of it. Did you have anyone like in that time frame that you felt like couldn't be there in a way that you needed? Or was everyone able to show up?
I think everyone who wanted to show up could. There was only one person that wanted to show up more, and he was actually upset that he couldn't show up more, and that was actually my little brother. And I understand, it wasn't a far gone conclusion as to why he was feeling the way he felt. Because my auntie, she was very key in my recovery too.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had a conversation. And also, I think it's because she's the youngest sibling of her siblings. Like, my aunt is she's my maternal aunt, so my mom's sister. And, she's the youngest of three. So she understood where he was coming from. When she broke it down to me, she said, well, I can understand how he feels, because for all his life, he's always had an older brother. For part of your life, you never had a little brother.
Right.
He at the time, he was just finding something, trying to hold on to, because he didn't have a full understanding of what was going on. I mean, granted, he's only a little less than 2 years younger than me. But all he knows is his older brother's in the hospital. He's been diagnosed with cancer. He's not eating. He's not himself, and he doesn't understand why.
Yeah.
So having that conversation with her, and then having that conversation with him, constantly let him know that I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. I'm okay. And I'm glad that some things that my wife was able to see, he never saw, because I think honestly he would have flipped out. I think he would have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that. It's the. Well, are you the oldest? You're the oldest, right?
I'm the oldest of two.
Okay. And Taylor, what about you?
I'm the middle of three. So
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm the oldest. I have three younger sisters, and yeah, I wholeheartedly get what you mean. It's you know, on some level, being the oldest sibling, like your younger siblings, they kind of get this, I don't know, mindset of you being like their support, their hero, who they look to, outside of their parents, if they look at their parents. But they look to that older sibling, and yeah, I wholeheartedly get it. That I can see how that could be his experience, and then of course you having being in the situation, having a different experience on your end, being the older brother.
Mm-hmm.
I can wholeheartedly get that because sometimes I look at my younger sisters like, okay. Yeah, sure, right. And sometimes I won't get it, but yeah, that makes sense to me. That makes total sense. So
Yeah.
what's new and next for you guys?
Um, as far as husband and wife, of course, we want to start our family.
Mm-hmm.
We joked about the kids and everything. She wants twins. I want boys. So if that's in the cards, if the Lord says yes to that, we'll be good with that. I wouldn't mind a third child after that, but
let's get through 1 and 2 first.
yeah. She took the word
So
out
Taylor,
of my mouth though.
so Taylor, we want to have twins. You wanna just 1 pregnancy and be done, and that's it. Just go ahead and get it out the way, and then go from 0 to 2.
That's the plan. That's the plan. That's the mindset. And part of me wants to have twins is because I'm my mother's only child, and
Mm-hmm.
but I have two siblings on my dad from my dad. I have an older
Mm-hmm.
brother and I have a younger brother.
Okay.
So, but mainly growing up, I was mainly with my mom all the time. And when she was going through like her health stuff and, during her final days, it was like, man, this is the time I wish I had like that, sibling, either older or younger that I
Mm-hmm.
share my feelings with and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
like, I, I would want, ideally, I would want twins so, they'll have each other same age, just to
Right.
be that automatic best friend. So, when they are going through those hard times, not just with their parents' health or anything like that, but anything in life, they can lean on each other.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, because people need people. Like life is not meant to be, lived alone. I mean, we all tend to learn the hard way about that one, but it's definitely meant to be lived with people. But I do love seeing a cute pair of twins with their matching outfits. And I can't wait for you, if you do have twins, I can't wait for you to post all the pictures and videos of the little cute things that they're doing and the matching outfits. And maybe it'll be boy girl twins and you can have cute little rhymey names or something. That'd be super dope. And I'd be here for the ride because I'm going to, continue to subscribe so I can watch all of that.
We appreciate
We appreciate it.
Of course, of course. I mean, you guys have really dope content. I love the stories. I love the message that you guys always give. Taylor, I love the singing. Keep that up. Keep that up. Please always bring that introduction with those good vocals. I love that. It's beautiful and dope. So I do have a question. I always have a question. I've asked like several, but just a hypothetical one. If you could relive one day, what would it be? Just one.
Our wedding day.
Tell me about that. How was the wedding? What did y'all do? What did y'all eat?
So our wedding day, I look back on our wedding day because knowing everything that it took to get there, which is why I definitely appreciate that day. And going into it, the one thing that I wanted to do besides marry my wife is I just wanted to live in the moment and just enjoy everything.
Yeah. Taylor, would that be your entity, your wedding day?
I think I would want to relive the moment when we first started creating a podcast.
Okay.
Because me and Marquise, we always had this thing like we wanted to build something with each other. And then that moment where we just sit here in the dining room, just trying to come up with names and stuff like that. I don't know. It just felt magical, right?
Yeah.
Like those creative juices were flowing. And that was like the most I've seen Marquise like really be feeling all energetic and happy just to see the same vision that I saw when
Yeah.
I did the podcast. So
In the way that happened is people were telling us that because of everything that we went through, we need to write a book.
I'm like, child, we're not in the mind space right now. Or and that's time in life to write a book just yet. But we'll do a podcast.
So, have you guys totally dismissed the idea of a book or just not right now? Like, is there a possibility maybe in the future, if the stars align, that you guys actually would pick up a pen?
We would want to do a book, but we just both feel like we still writing a story. Right?
Yeah,
and
that is hard. Yeah.
Hard. And, I feel like we haven't hit that point yet. Like we should just go ahead and write that book. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be an awesome book. Don't get me wrong. We see it in the future.
Yeah.
New York Times
bestseller.
It will be a page turner for sure. Yeah, it definitely would.
But you know what? Through the podcast, we're able to tell our story and connect with people. And we've been in October. We have been doing our podcast for 3 years. We just celebrated our 100th episode yesterday.
Yeah.
So
nice.
in these first 100 episodes, we've been able to have a lot of great experiences that we've talked about. We've met a lot of great couples from like New York, Texas, North Carolina, Denver,
South Carolina,
Indiana. When we've gotten to share a space with one of the most well-known and well-watched Black couples in the podcast area, or not area, but realm. We got to share the stage with DeVell and Kadeen Ellis from the Dead Ass podcast. That was fun.
Nice.
We went to that live show, and let's just say when we got there, I acted a fool. You have to see it, but it's no matter how many times I watch it, it's hilarious.
Now, Marquise, you seem to be very. I don't know. You seem to have like a calm spirit about you. I find it hard to believe that you actually act up on occasion.
Oh, don't let this fool you. If anybody knows, it's me. Don't let this fool you. No.
Look, when we went to the live show. This was actually March of last year, and we were on stage. We were one of the couples that did the call on stage.
I thought it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, we were on a stage, and then DeVell was telling his story, and he was messing with me because I was being silly, and in the crowd we were sitting front row. But let's just say that if you ever see it, you will be. Everybody in the entire auditorium was laughing. It's so funny that whenever I have bad days, I just turn it on and start laughing again. It was that was that funny.
And the way Marquise trolls me on a daily basis.
Not trolling. Oh.
He trolls. He like pranks on me and stuff like that. Just for example, it has to be 2 weeks now. I was tired from church. We ate a nice lunch and I fell asleep on the couch. I admit, when I'm really tired or sick, I snore. So I know at one point, Marquise,
wait. I already knew that.
right. So you know what video I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I remember Marquise had nudged me. He was like, babe, you snoring. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, babe. You know, and did think nothing of it, thinking my husband was just going to let me sleep in peace. Nope. He's like, so you thought. And next thing I know, I see this video on Instagram Reel, on YouTube, and he go record me snoring. He's synchroning his breathing with my snoring. I said, really? So you just gonna put me out there like that? Okay,
That was funny. That was hilarious. I was like, she's asleep. Well, she must have had a hard day today, but it was just Marquise's face as he's recording. Like,
he's recording.
But you know,
goodness.
But you know what? I actually learned something for posting that video because one of my college buddies, who's also our soror, she said, and I sat there, I'm like, you know, she's right. The reason why she slept like that and just in complete peace was just because I created that space for her. So
that is true. That is true.
She felt peaceful and she felt protected. So you know what?
Yeah, that is true.
In a funny scenario, I learned a valuable lesson.
That is true.
But you still put me out there like that, and everybody know what my snore sound like.
A little bit, yeah, but just a smidge. But
that's not the worst one. So I used to say that's not the worst snoring I've ever heard from you.
Not the worst one.
Not the worst.
Oh my Jesus. Okay.
Goodness gracious. I love that. So wait, Taylor, are you the one to fall asleep really fast?
No, it's still Marquise.
Oh.
It was just that particular day. I don't know what it was. It was just like a wave of tiredness.
You were just really tired. Yeah.
I was really tired, and then that couch was comfortable, and then Marquise was sitting next to me. We was watching a movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just went to sleep. I was sleeping the spirit of the Lord and my husband.
Just knocked out, gone, and calling the hogs at that, and the entire world got to witness it too. Yeah. I'm glad you got good rest that day.
At least I was still breathing.
This is true. Yes. I think the world knew that those lungs were good in working. You got good gulps of air coming through there. Sinus cavity clear. Gotta be everything.
And then she says, I'm the biggest troll in the world. I'm like, no, I think he got me by a mile. So this troll game is immaculate.
Trolls, I'm weak.
So I got a question about You Stuck With Me podcast. So how come Steve doesn't get any camera time?
Steve actually has had camera time.
Yeah,
has he really? Have I seen Steve? I feel like I have. Maybe.
Yes.
Not often though, but like it's always so cute when you guys are talking and then y'all will ask Steve, because obviously he's in the room, but he's not on camera. But you guys will like ask Steve a question and then it's like that afterthought. Oh, wait. Hi, Steve.
He actually created that.
I created that because so to backtrack, it's not that we don't give Steve camera time. Steve states that we have good banter amongst ourselves, and he gets enthralled like everybody else that listens to us.
Yeah.
So he'll forget that he's actually the producer and just be sitting there laughing.
Yeah.
So we love to incorporate Steve. He's enthralled just like everybody else. Like, did she just really say that? Like, wait, what?
Yes.
Sometimes he'll mute his mic because he's laughing hard and he don't want that to be in the episode. But no, Steve has had camera time. Matter of fact, we plan on incorporating Steve more in the upcoming season.
Yeah, I don't see why not, because anytime he does say anything, like it's usually funny anyway. But I always think it's like super funny and cute that you guys will like. It's like you're just sitting amongst yourselves talking, and it's almost like you guys forget that the camera's even there, and it's almost like Steve forgets that he's not on camera too, and you're like, oh hey Steve, how you doing? Yeah. So there was one. I wish I would have went back to it and made a note of it, because there was one episode. It was when you guys played We listen and we don't judge. And there was something Steve said that had me like, what? Gosh, I got to go back and listen to that because I was like,
if we can clear that up for you. So you're talking about the episode we're playing. We listen and we don't judge, and Steve was actually a participant in that.
He was.
Steve talked about how he incidentally smoked a substance. And I was like, and we was like, we listen and we don't judge.
Yeah, like because
I was
you
like,
can't.
wait, I said bump all that. I gotta ask questions. I'm like, how, Steve? How?
It was just all of y'all had really good ones because each time I was like, we listen and we don't. I was just saying it with y'all. We listen and we don't judge. But there was something that Steve said, and I was just like, nah, I'm with Taylor on this one. We gotta circle back to that. You need to elaborate, sir. Are you okay?
When he explained it, it was like, oh, okay, we get it.
Yeah, like, are things all right, sir? Clarify that. I have yet to play that game yet. And what I think I'm gonna do, say what?
That look that
and that was one of my ideas too. Just scrolling on TikTok, I said, "Oh, this will be fun to do."
That one clip alone had like a whole bunch of views, and it was like,
I bet it did because it was just so. It's just you can't. It's certain things you just can't speed past when you say it. Like you got to stop and let that cook and elaborate. You can't just say that. You can't just say that. And then, I know the game is, okay, you say we listen and we don't judge, but you got to add some more to that.
Absolutely not. I was not going to let that pass. And that's what Marquis said made it funny because my facial reaction. Because I already accepted the fact my role in the podcast is I'm that friend that you got to be careful who you take out to like lunch and dinner and stuff like that. Because I'll be the friend that be like, wait a minute, hold up. So I bypass that? No, we're not. Like
same. I am that person. I'm the person at the dinner table. Hold up. Press pause on what y'all talking about. What did you say? Just bring that back to the forefront so I can make sure I heard that right. Because I gotta be sure my ears heard what they heard.
And I'll constantly tell her, and she didn't believe it until somebody else said it. She's funny, and it's not what she says, but it's the way she says it that makes it.
Yes, it really is. It usually is like how you deliver. Just whatever's going on up here, I know it's got to be like a playground in your head. You know what? I actually made a note of that. That's so funny that I said that because I literally made a note that Taylor has, what did I say? Taylor has a radio in her head. I put that as a note because you do. You do. And I am very much the same way. But I don't express my radio frequencies the same way you do. Like you will sing because you sing on every episode. And then you typically like talk in lyrics. I caught that. I do notice that. You will say something in lyrics. And for me, I will sing at random and then I'll start dancing at random too. And I'll be like, this girl gets it. She gets it. I understand.
Yeah, where have you been?
Cousin, I'm here. Finally.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought that was, I wanted to ask that question about Steve because I wasn't sure if that was like a personal preference of his or what, but it is very dope. But shout out to Steve, even though he's not here. Be sure to send him all the love and best from the Kindred Kinfolk family because he's hilarious, just like you two. Very much so hilarious.
We'll definitely send him the message.
Yeah.
Yes, and just go ahead and play another round if we listen and we don't judge. I need to learn more about Steve. now I'm concerned. So I want to play that with me and my two co-hosts. So it'll be me, my sister, my cousin. And then I want to play with, I'm going to have my mom, my aunt, which is my mom's sister, and my grandmother. We're all going to play it. And that we're going to make that an episode here soon. So once we, get it recorded and everything. But yeah, so I can only imagine what kind of family business and secrets is going to be spilled on that one. But
please tag us.
And that came up with a song in my mind just when you was talking about. So I got a song for you. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Your secrets are safe with me.
Come on, Alicia.
With me.
Come on, Alicia.
No. See?
Okay, so just know every time I click on an episode, when I hear you singing, I don't have a lighter, not a smoker. But I always think about grabbing a lighter or my cell phone light and just be seeing her like, yep, come on now. Come on now, just wave it in the air. Like, yeah, she is getting it. I love it. I love it. Especially when you sing like in the middle of an episode or something and it's just at random. And Marquise, your face, golden, okay? Golden. I feel like at some point somebody is going to screenshot your face when Taylor's singing, and they're gonna make it a meme. That's gonna be and I can't wait for the captions that's gonna come from that face. I'm gonna be here for it. You hear me? Don't be surprised if I do that. It might be me. I might be the one.
You know how long it's been since I've been a meme? Somebody made a meme.
It's gonna be it's always so funny because you just always give her this look like, are you done? No, it's still going. Okay. Because my husband looks at me the exact same way. Like, are you done? It's still going. I'm just gonna let her get all that out.
I rub off on Marquis sometimes because he'll be singing some songs too. And then he'll try to test my music gags to talk about, if you don't know this song, you too young for me. And I'm like, what if I don't know it? What you gonna do? Leave?
Nothing at all.
No. I know I get on his nerves sometimes, but he knew that was part of the package.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's part of the vows right there. You know, that's included. It's in the fine print. At some point, y'all are gonna get on each other's nerves.
So I'm not the only one who says that.
I didn't say it was wrong to say the fine print, but you be coming up with amendums and sections, stuff like that. That never been established. It's a difference.
No.
It's a difference.
It's a scientific fact.
Here we go.
It's in the fine print. It's in the unspoken words that were said at the altar. It's somewhere in there. It's in the atmosphere. It just circles around y'all as the vows are being connected. Yeah, just that's how you're going to live the rest of your days. That man is going to keep getting on your nerves and vice versa. Hey. Why did y'all look at each other like that?
That's just us.
Look, what you hear on the podcast, that is unscripted. That is just us.
I can tell. I can very much so tell.
Look, my mom said yesterday if she didn't know us, she would have thought we were two of the same person.
Yeah, y'all, you can tell like you two are two different people, but you can also tell that y'all have been together for a while. And I can tell when y'all are like tapping into each other's frequency, like whenever Marquise starts to sing or make a lyrical reference, I'm like, yeah, he's acting like Taylor now. He's
it's Taylor since 13.
He's definitely been around Taylor a little bit. And then when Taylor's actually the one that's quiet, giving Marquise the look, I'm like, oh yeah, she's acting like her husband right now. Yeah.
And you know what? Speaking of look, she will actually become concerned when I'm not doing anything crazy for too long with period.
I hate that. That's when he becomes normal. And I'm like, why are you acting normal?
When he's too serious?
No, when he's too quiet.
When I'm too quiet. When I'm just sitting, like if I'm just sitting down doing nothing and I've just been doing it for a long period of time. She gets worried because she says I'm acting normal. I'm like, I'm just relaxed. I'm chilling.
No, that's the thing. I do the same thing to my husband. I bust right up in his office. Hey. Ain't no noise going on in here. We'll turn on some music or some background noise. Cut on YouTube or something. Taylor, I got you, cousin. I got you, because you gotta make some noise. What you doing? What's good? Because we want to know what's going on in that head. That's not you. Probably got something going on.
Or if he's sitting and I'm driving, he's sitting next to me on the car. He just not singing or nothing. Like, hey, like, are you okay? what we thinking about today?
And more times,
like it's something wrong.
And more times than not, I'll just be sitting there and I'm just enjoying the ride, looking out the window.
Yeah.
That's
usually the answer that I get. Like, no, just everything's fine. Are you sure? because I'm coming with the 42 questions now because it's very silent through here. But my husband does, and I don't know, Marquise, you probably can relate. My husband does like enjoy silence sometimes. Like he enjoys he's very good at like living in the moment and like trying to like, soak it in and stuff. And yeah, I guess I just live in the moment a little differently. It's usually not quietly though.
And be perfectly honest with you, there's nothing wrong with that because there are times where she'll be quiet and I'm just like, is everything okay to check in on her? I mean, we all have our moments where we're just quiet and we just, just want to sit with ourselves and just, relax, just chill with no serious thoughts going through our mind, just feeling and just being in the moment.
Hold on, because we're going to let Riot just get all that out. You sure you want a dog? You sure? Y'all sure y'all want little animals? Because they do stuff like that.
I'm gonna be honest. The type of dog I would want, I think we agreed that the type of dog we would want to get is the German Shepherd.
She is my first German Shepherd, first and only. I don't plan on getting any more dogs, but she's a German Shepherd mix. But she is my first. Like I've always had a dog, but I've never had a German Shepherd and or Husky. And they are incredibly intelligent, very smart dogs, very loyal, very smart. Some of the things that she does, like it even surprises me because I'm like, I didn't teach you that, but come on, girl, let's do it. Like, why not? But yeah, I mean, honestly, and it seems like everyone. Well, she's a very friendly dog. I don't know if that's the German Shepherd in her or the Husky in her. I can't figure that part out which, but she is also mixed with Lab and Poodle. She goes up to just about anybody, like always, but she is also only 2. So she's still very much in that like puppy phase, even though she's like, I think she's now at 70 pounds. She's a big girl, But so yeah, but if you do get a German Shepherd, prepare for the shedding. Yeah. Go ahead and prepare your house and stuff or whatever for the shedding and hair maintenance, or find a groomer because you'll definitely be cleaning up hair around your house and stuff. It's just maintenance of it. But they're very good dogs though. And if you guys do get one, I'm gonna see some pictures when y'all post them. It'd be super cute.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So since you guys, well, let's circle back to the twins for a moment. Do we have baby names?
Not yet.
I haven't got mine.
You do?
I had some of mine, yeah.
You want to share? Or are we gonna hold that for another day?
It all depends on what sets of twins we have. So I said if we have the twin boys that I want to call them MJ and TJ. So
MJ and TJ.
Yeah.
Cute.
Short for Marquis Jr. and Taylor Jr. Even if it's a girl, she's still gonna have the name Tayller. So
that's cute.
MJ and TJ. Let's see. I was gonna let Marquise name one and then I named the other one. So just again, twin boys. The twin that I would name, I said if I had a boy and Marquise didn't want to have a junior, I just named them after the 2 guys in my life that I cared about the most. So of course Marquise is gonna be in the name. And then I had a brother that passed away about a year ago. So it'd be like
I'm sorry.
or something like that.
That would be so beautiful.
Yeah. But I'm really banking on MJ and TJ because I think that would be so cute.
It would be. I think so. But I mean, I'm just one woman. It's y'all's. It's y'all's. y'all raising the kids. So I'm just one woman. One woman across state lines. That's it. But I'll just be tuning in to see what little MJ and TJ are doing. Now I'm gonna leave that on all y'all's comments now. Awesome. This has been beautifully amazing. I have enjoyed speaking with you guys. Go ahead and let the folks know where they can find you guys at.
You want to do it like the podcast?
Might as well. Are you going to serenade us, Taylor? Come on, girl. I know that radio's on. You've been dying to sing. Go ahead, girl.
I've been having this one random song stuck in my head, and it's a song that we done on the podcast. I don't know why. Marquis gonna start laughing if I start singing it. So,
Oh, goodness.
you should have told me I wasn't fine enough. You should have told me that I ain't smart enough. But you kept me. Wait, you left me. You let me on. And you kept me on, and we never should have wasted this time. But the part of the song that I like,
Yes, come on, girl.
the part of the song that you always used to laugh at when I sang it,
I forgot.
it was like, you were lonely and you were hungry. I was in my own world thinking I was a perfect lady.
She had to briefly remind me because I was like, where is she going?
Kelly Price.
I'm like, oh yeah. Look.
Price. I said, girl, you ain't know the man was hungry. That's an issue.
That's
On
terrible.
That part right there.
Ooh.
That's terrible. Terrible. Oh, goodness. Yeah, sometimes when you go back on these like song lyrics and stuff, you like, as an adult, you learn what they said back then, and you're like, what?
Wait a minute.
Be sure to let the people know where they can find you guys at, where they could tune into You Stuck With Me podcast.
You guys can email us at youstuckwithme@gmail.com. That is USTUCKWITME@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at YouStuckWithMe_podcast, USTUCKWITME_podcast. And that's the same for TikTok. We're on TikTok as well. She's going to make fun of me because I'm late to the game, but it's okay. Hey, YouStuckWithMe_podcast, same as IG. You can also find us on Facebook. Just type in You Stuck With Me. You're going to be able to see our video, our content, our pre-recorded and during recording yawns. See, there you go right there.
Face to fist right now.
You can also find us on, like I said, find us on Facebook. Just type in You Stuck With Me. You can find me on Instagram and the app formerly known as Twitter at mine_1. That is M1NE_1. Beautiful. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and the app formerly known as Twitter under Queen Points. That is PO1NTZ. Again, that is Queen Points, PO1NTZ. And if you want some real behind the scenes footage, not the stuff Marquis decide he late to the game on, and the stuff that I do with him to get on his nerves every other day and before recording, you can follow me on TikTok under Queen Points 22. Again, that is Queen Points 22.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Well, hopefully all of our Kindred Kinfolk listeners will definitely be checking in and tapping into You Stuck With Me podcast. Y'all, this has been fun. And thank you guys so much for stopping through to hang out with me for a little bit.
Thanks
for having us. And you know this means you stuck with us too now, right?
And that just know y'all are now Kindred Kinfolk. We cousins now.
Hey. Also, you can find our podcast on Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube.
Or anywhere you stream your favorite shows.
And if you're on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate, review, subscribe, and share.
And be on the lookout for that live show content.
Yeah. And look for me in the comments because I will be there. Because I'm going to drop a comment about this live show. I cannot wait to see it.
Also, we have merch now, so you can get merch from us. Just send us an email. We make sure that you guys get some of our merch.
Yep.
Nice. I didn't know that. Okay, I'm about to. What you got? T-shirts, hats, hoodies, what?
We got T-shirts. We just picked them up. This was our first time. We used them last night.
So. So we're doing a soft launch. We have shirts right now.
And
nice. Oh yeah, I'm definitely have to grab me a little shirt. I'll be emailing y'all. Somebody gonna get this email as soon as we finish here because I need a shirt. Probably two.
Most definitely.
Yes, well, it's definitely been your first time on Kindred Kinfolk, but don't let it be your last.
Oh no! We want to come back and we want to get you on our.
And we need you on You Stuck With Me.
I'd be happy to join and come on there and be silly and listen to Taylor serenade me a little bit more. in person. Well,
I always don't do
virtually.
a duet, you know.
What? Now wait a minute. Now I told you I don't know the lyrics, but I can ad lib you down. I will be your background.
I'm here for the ad libs.
I'll just hit it with the yeah. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. See, that's why everybody say we too. That's exactly
why. Everybody say we're the same.
Same person.
That's how it's gonna be. Is ad libs. That's it. And then y'all count it with more ad libs, and that'll be the song. That'll be the whole thing. And then we gonna have Steve just say random, interesting facts about himself. That's gonna leave everybody with raised eyebrows, wondering if he's how concerned we are about him.
You're gonna see more of him next season. That's the plan.
That's good. That's awesome. All right, Kindred Kinfolk listeners, you've been listening to the Kindred Kinfolk podcast. Be sure to tap in to any podcast streaming service that you find us at, and definitely be sure to tap into U Stuck With Me podcast. Until next time, you've been listening to Kindred Kinfolk. Bye.